My cracker. Welcome to episode 20 of the Idiot's Odyssey. I'm Owen Murphy.
And I'm Fergal O'Connor.
And here are your headlines.
Well, the guys who made the Lego movie are making a Star Wars movie, but not a Lego Star Wars movie. There's going to be a trilogy of Batman trilogies as long as you pretend Batman and Robin doesn't exist, which everyone should. Jurassic World 2 might take the world bit slightly more literally. And Michael Scofield faces the hardest prison break of all. Out of the grave.
Dun dun dun. So, first things first, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys who brought us 21 and 22 Jump Street and the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie, I think they're scheduled for, will be bringing us the next, another Star Wars film, though. It'll be the second anthology one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, Han Solo film, which is interesting.
Yeah, interesting is definitely the word. I mean,
if unnecessary, but I'd be interested to see their take.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they've got what it takes visually. We've seen that.
Yeah,
now.
and I think there's a lot of humor involved in Han Solo.
Yeah,
not as much humor as like an actual comedy, but that kind of thing.
Yeah, but I think their strengths that they've shown through the Lego movie and through 22.
Yeah, exactly.
They're very, very strong on meta humor.
Absolutely.
Meta humor is absolutely not a part of the Star Wars universe.
But the thing is, with 22 Jump Street, it kind of really brought him into the frame as, oh, check these guys out, because of the meta, and the meta humor played a major part in it. But at the same time, 21 and 22 Jump Street, and the thing that I think, like, what would make them fit for Star Wars is that they were kind of, they were comedies, but they were action comedies,
Yeah. No, it's just that the particular brand of humor that they employed seemed kind of so self-referential that Star Wars is a much purer universe in terms of it.
Yeah, it's not aware it's a film show, a film or anything,
It takes itself pretty damn seriously, that those Star Wars films do, but Jar Jar Binks notwithstanding.
Who? We don't talk about
that's
that,
the best. Yeah, that's the best response ever. That's the exact same response anyone should have to Batman and Robin being brought up in conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that later.
Or never.
I'd be interested to see this. So, what do you think? Are you happy with this?
Well, I mean, like, it's the second best thing they could have gone with. I mean, obviously, my number one pick would have been a Jabba the Hutt standalone film.
No. But here's a thing that I was wondering now. In Star Wars, right, in the original trilogy,
yeah,
like Han Solo, a lot of his comedy is basically, and a lot of the humor is based off his like working with other people,
Yeah.
And if it's a standalone, a solo film of Han Solo, him bouncing off other characters won't be there as much.
Well, basically,
or it won't, like him as a main character is a bit of an odd one.
What I'm hoping goes down is that they get Harrison Ford to show the new actor how to play the part in every scene.
Yeah.
So
just like have him as your creative consultant or your Han Solo expert.
Yeah, it's like they can get Armie Hammer to play the part again.
What? Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like Social Network style.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean this in the same way that you have the Wolverine films kind of don't work as well because in the originals, in the comics,
because they suck.
In the cartoon series, they worked better because he was more sparingly because he wasn't the main character.
Yeah.
And he just bounced well within the team.
Yeah.
Or bounced well against the team. You can kind of see the worries and the positives I'm thinking of,
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. I mean, these guys they have what it takes visually. Yeah,
they're solid enough. They're solid enough, and I think it's worth noting that I think that Disney would let them at it to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, the producing kind of team partnership, whatever, behind this, they're treating the whole Star Wars thing with kid gloves, because if they fuck up one film, they're going to find it much harder to milk money out of the other films, and they're tied into a lot of films on this one.
And kind of adding on to the main point anyway of Lord and Miller, is that they are so busy with all of this stuff and the theoretical Flash film and the Han Solo film and all this, that they will instead of being the one who will be directing 23 Jump Street, they will now just be producing it.
Boo.
Oh well, I mean they'll still be producing it, so that there's that. And yeah, I would have preferred them to still be directors, but I can understand why not, because it is just it's a time issue. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, but there are very few directors who can pull off what they did there. I mean, those are some of my favourite comedies of the last 10 years. I feel Edgar Wright might be able to pull it off, and then...
oh, yeah, that would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Although he has very much his own distinctive style that's very much different from theirs, I think. Although not in an offensively bad way.
Yeah, but
an offensively different way.
I think he's proven himself with referential humour.
But their own what they actually said themselves is they will probably just produce from a time standpoint. So yeah, it's basically just a timing issue. Although I must say I would prefer, if seeing as that this is their trilogy that they started, whatever, renewed or whatever, that I would like to see them finish it off.
Yeah.
But at least they're staying on as producers, so I'm happy with that, I guess.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers likes Ben Affleck as Batman. They like him as Batman.
Well, they've already basically seen him in 2 films.
Yeah, but apparently this week there was a rough cut of Batman vs Superman, which received a standing ovation.
Yes, so of course it was people who worked with it, isn't it? So
yeah, but this was from producers who were kind
don't
of
need to. They don't need to salute. They don't need to give an applause.
Yeah, they bow to no one, my friend. So
Even
these guys are so happy with Ben Affleck that they want to give him
not 1, but
not 2, but 3 Batman films.
So a trilogy.
Unplanned. That was unplanned.
Yeah, there was no planning there. But this is planned as a trilogy, and that's interesting because, I mean, the question is, did they actually have? Did they even start writing any of it? Really, he's not writing it. He's not writing the first one, the Batman.
Yeah.
But the question is, will this now change their perspective of the Batman? As in, will they change the writing of the Batman?
I hope not. I feel like if you start making a film with thinking too much of the sequel, it's going to shit the bed.
Yeah, no, but as in, will they we'll leave it kind of in doubt whether this person is dead or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like the bunch of very big comic book films that we are not mentioning this week, their first their first kind of foray with that Iron Man guy.
Yes.
Yeah, like that. The reason that worked so well is because that was planned as a standalone film, and from that gave them a solid base from which they could build and keep adding characters as the universe became more unwieldy and harder to make a good film around.
Yeah, it's actually only like the Incredible Hulk, right? Which of course is kind of like the bastard child of the Marvel universe. That they actually, it's after that it's during that they actually decided, we're doing a universe because of the credits scene.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually during the credits at all. It's the right stamped at the end of Incredible Hulk. The whole where they actually basically talk about the Avengers, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
So that's interesting. So, they have been planning it for a while, but they didn't plan it in the first one. I can see that. But here's the thing. Warner Brothers and DC, they have been planning this, right? They have been planning a universe. So, as in they... Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think they were always probably going to write it with the intention of the universe keep flowing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like the best kind of Marvel films, or most of the best ones, are the ones where they didn't feel like they had to jam Tony Stark and Captain America up the film's ass.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that, take for example, going back to the point of actual Batman, that like Nolan, I think, said after The Dark Knight that there wasn't any plans for another film. He was only going to make another film if the script for it was as good or better than the last one, which, okay, fair enough, it wasn't, but still, it was still good.
But yeah, Nolan is a cagey guy, man. I mean,
no, but that's the thing. They should be written with that kind of thing in mind. Of like, they're relatively standalone.
Yeah.
But, as in each script to its own, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, which I think was something that Nolan Batman films did very strongly.
Yes. But and at the same time, there is an overarching feel of, this is a trilogy. This feels like a trilogy.
Yeah, which it was perfectly executed there. Like.
The rise, the peak, the decline. Boom.
Yeah, well, it was sort of the rise, and then there was a very sharp decline, and then there was a rise, and then there was a nuclear bomb.
I meant overall of the trilogy of films.
But I mean, the graph of the Batman films as a whole, it sort of looks like a fucking picture of a mountain range,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But the BatFleck trilogy could have a similar kind of. If it had a similar feel, I'd be okay with that. But the point is, if the first one is strong, then they should succeed it with something as strong and as, make it fit, is what I'm saying. If the first one's contained, have the second one less contained. If the first one's fairly open, have the second one more contained. That kind of crap,
Yeah,
make it.
And not start trying to jam references to every other film in their fucking cinematic universe.
Yeah, that's what I definitely don't want. I mean, I don't mind the occasional nod and wink and all this kind of crap, but I don't want it to be a case of, why isn't the Justice League showing up, or this kind of crap.
Yeah, it's like watching a really messy gangbang that
I don't want to see Superman flying past in a scene or something, that kind of crap. Moving on, innit?
Jurassic World 2,
which will have an actual name later, I assume.
I assume so, and also Jurassic World 2 is a thing, boys and girls.
Well, that surprises no one.
Yeah,
surely. I mean, granted, the spoilers ending for Jurassic World was a bit, you could have stopped it there, but at the same time, you don't stop a money train.
Nah. But it's apparently they're going worldwide with this one.
It makes... Yes, well, do you want to elaborate?
Well, according to a Wired interview with director Colin Trevorrow, they have an idea of what those sequels will entail, and the next film won't just be a bunch of dinosaurs chasing people on an island. I'm still quoting this guy directly, folks.
Oh, right.
Because that'll get old real fast. Instead, the film will explore how the science used to create the dinosaurs can be used elsewhere in the world. He compared it to nuclear power, saying, "When you look back, the first instinct was to weaponize, and later on, we found it could be used for energy." So, basically, and we're moving out of quote territory, I think what we're looking at here is probably sort of dinosaurs running in hamster wheels.
Yeah. Well, so does this mean that other countries are going to start we're past the age of the nuclear, of possible nuclear war, and now it's like Dino War?
That's a very different film. A very awesome film, but a very different film.
Make that a thing.
Yeah, it's...
The Russians are sending in the Rex. Damn it.
Yeah, it's like...
It's the pterodactyls.
I just want to see, pterodactyls and Ride of the Valkyries. That is all I want to see.
But just with the flag of the nation stamped into them,
America, fuck yeah!
Alright. And,
so, the Jurassic World sequel will show up in 2018. Possibly with Union Jack pterodactyls, we don't know.
Yeah, so but that basically it sounds like other labs will be creating them, right?
Yeah,
that's surely the implication of what they're actually saying.
It's like they're moving beyond the military implications of the dinosaurs. Consider what else can the dinosaurs
that definitely
do
sounds
for
like
us?
that definitely sounds like what he's saying.
Yeah,
but I suppose it's interesting, but you definitely want it off the island because it was getting stale after 4 films. I mean, there was in Jurassic Park 2, they did go to San Diego, and that was a complete why was that tacked on? But at the same time, power through, and because there was still an element of among the masses kind of thing.
Well, I think there were hints of this though, when they had that little dinosaur petting zoo. It's
yes, I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's
also made for one of the more hilarious scenes of the thing.
Those little dinosaurs were adorable. It made me incredibly jealous of like just those just people who got to go to the dinosaur petting zoo. I don't know if they were animatronic or if it was CGI, but I would pet an imaginary dinosaur all fucking day is what I'd do.
Here's the thing though, is that you always get the feeling that with Jurassic World it's like, or the park itself, right?
Yeah.
That these people are going and they're taking an elective risk. They're taking the risk themselves to go there. You know, I mean, granted there's a case of X many dozen safety precautions, you know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are still taking that risk. And while they think it's more minimized than it turns out to be because of fuck-ups, whereas the people in the world are just like, well, I'm not getting on that line. Oh, right, there's a dinosaur down the street. Oh.
Yeah, basically.
You know, they're not expected to be released upon the masses, like.
Yeah, I think the idea is, like, with Jurassic World 2 was going to be this idea of, like, people see that dinosaurs are dangerous and yet they still try to exploit them for this energy or whatever bullshit.
I think that's just the case of people
that is what we get punished for this time. We get punished for trying to exploit something dangerous. Which
absolutely,
is,
yeah.
Actually, I can see why you used
nuclear
power metaphor.
The nuclear power metaphor is actually a brilliant one.
Yeah, where it works on many levels.
So, yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah, so we... possible working titles: Jurassic World 2, Dinosaur Chernobyl.
Oh.
So here's my favourite story of the night. Always is the bit where we talk about a bunch of pretty girls.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're bastards. Right. There is a short list of women to
basically be the romantic lead for the romantic co-star.
Well,
for,
not necessarily romantic lead. That's kind of a
the female co-star for Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
Channing Tatum's Gambit.
Within Gambit, yeah. So the women in the running are
Rebecca Ferguson.
First off, the character is Belladonna. Oh God, Boudreaux.
Bordeaux. I'd say
it was no, it's a DR apparently. So Belladonna Boudreaux. She is a psychic mutant with a long history with Gambit. They have known each other since childhood. They've been married, and she's tried to kill him a few times.
Yeah, sounds like Gambit's kind of girl.
Yeah, sounds like any sort of marriage, really. So the names currently on the shortlist player are Rebecca Ferguson, first off.
Who was in Mission Possible Rogue Nation.
Rebecca Ferguson is I think they should just give her the part if she could do the French accent. They should give her the part if she cannot do a French accent. They should give her the part if her French accent sounds like, "Hello, I am French." Just because of how good she was in Mission Impossible 5 at playing a female character where there was an enormous physical attraction there. But she is...
with ambiguous allegiances.
Yeah, absolutely. She was fantastic at playing the trickster character. Like, she
I wouldn't say trickster, to be honest.
Oh, she was definitely the trickster. I mean, like, she was playing the role of the trickster and that you don't know what side she's coming from. She is forced into the role of trickster, but nonetheless she is a trickster. But moving...
Oh, you spoke very fast there, but go on.
Moving on. It's like, she was just great. She's just super fantastic, and I think she'd make a fantastic Belladonna Boudreaux.
Yeah, great Belladonna.
Then we have Léa Seydoux of Blue is the Warmest Colour Inspector.
Yeah, she's the one who's Inspector.
From what I've seen of the footage of Spectre, she's really good.
Well, here's the thing, right? They're basically these two were both in the big spy films of the year.
Yeah.
Although Spectre has yet to be released. And, you know, so we can't judge until we've seen it.
Pretty much. The trailer looks nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. You should go watch it after you've listened to our show, which is really good, I promise. But the final woman on the shortlist is Abby Lee, who was one of the wives from Mad Max Fury Road. That's a slightly less prestigious, but maybe they see something there. I don't know.
Well, Mad Max is still awesome, but at the same time, those roles weren't exactly... don't sound like they fit the character. You know what I mean?
Well,
although
depends.
Acting is acting.
I mean, this Belladonna Boudreaux, the kind of the murdering Gambit side of things. I mean, if you think about it, though, that Mad Max film, they showed a lot of grit. and a lot of passion, both of which I think would translate quite well into this character.
But what I'm saying is that the wives weren't exposed to that a lot before. Or I don't know what the fuck is going on. If you remember, once they were on the chase, they were pissed. Yes.
They were pissed, there were guns involved, they were pretty scary, and I can't remember which one Abby Lee played, but she could potentially make a good Belladonna Boudreaux.
I mean, we can
maybe not as good as Rebecca Ferguson would make.
Yeah, so basically Rebecca Ferguson would be our horse in this race.
Yeah.
Run! It's a stampede of unnecessary sequels, remakes, and reboots. And here's one of the more unnecessary ones, I suppose, is that they're doing a remake of Jumanji. Like, why? Like it's been about a year since Robin Williams' death.
Yep.
And now they're going to remake one of his more infamous roles. You know.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, this is of course, Jumanji, for the people who don't know, was a 1995 film in which basically the board game comes to life, and it's all jungle animals and completely crazy crap like that coming out. That pretty much sums it up, right?
Yes, it does.
And it had, this nice kind of action adventure kind of feel to it, and it wasn't a terrific film, but it was a very, very enjoyable film.
Obviously,
it was kind of capitalizing on the whole Jurassic Park thing.
Yep.
But at the same time, it was more urbanized and stuff.
Yeah, I feel that it's.
But this is just why are you doing this? So soon as well, and it will be. All we've got so far is that it's going to be produced by Sony, and how many unnecessary crap does Sony come up with?
The thing is, I kind of
Fergal, speak
clearly. I'm sorry. I've just spent this whole story trying to figure out why, and I can't. Okay,
there is no reasoning other than money.
Yeah,
but the thing is that the internet is pissed off, and I'm not exactly too happy about this either.
Why don't you just piss on Robin Williams' grave and get it over with, you bastards?
Exactly. I mean, it's it's unnecessary, and it's a bit insulting. You know what I mean? To everyone's memory,
I know. I could be normally it's you gotta make money. I don't even like Jumanji that fucking much. For some reason, this one's just. I like
Jumanji because I saw it when I was a child, and I like Robin Williams.
It was your Space Jam.
No, Space Jam was my Space Jam. that's ridiculous. But no, it was a thing that I like. It was entertaining, fun, and and Robin Williams is great in the role. And what else do you need to say about it?
This just no
unnecessary remake is unnecessary.
So unnecessary.
We sure do spend a lot of time talking about unnecessary remakes, and here's another one. A bit of a different twist because they're remaking Scarface, and it's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio in the star role, and apparently it'll be released in somewhere next year. And it's an odd one because it's he's playing Scarface is not exactly what you'd call the usual Oscar kind of stuff that he tends to go for, and it's almost fuck the Oscars, I'm just going to play a fucking ridiculous role.
No, this is a stupid idea. Scarface is completely iconic.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Scarface that we know, the one made in 83, was actually a remake of a one from 1932, and this is another. It's being remade for second time, so this is the third version of the same film. But although apparently this will have a lot of the scenes that are similar.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. I mean, Brian De Palma will never allow this, basically.
The Leonardo DiCaprio Scarface which is set to be released in 2016, will be directed by Brian De Palma.
Oh,
yes,
well,
and shall be
actually that makes me feel a little better about it.
Yes, because Brian De Palma has a very unique style, and I suppose it'll be interesting to see how he's changed. In the years,
Yeah, but I mean, if it's about how the director has changed, and this film is basically going to shit itself, there needs to be a damn good reason to retell the story.
Yeah, absolutely. money. No, Leonardo DiCaprio is, of course, a very different actor and a very different kind of style from Al Pacino. He just is.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all I got. To be honest about it.
I look forward to hearing Leonardo DiCaprio's Cuban accent.
Yeah, it'll be. That's exactly it. I mean, obviously, Al Pacino can pass for Italian, Mexican, apparently, Cuban, American, I suppose, and Leonardo DiCaprio as a Cuban. Could be stretching it, but we'll see.
Yeah, what's this American cockroach think he's doing playing a Cuban?
Yeah, it's an odd one, like.
Yeah, I remain cautiously optimistic because I'm
definitely
not quite sure what other reaction I can have.
I mean, I really like Brian De Palma's kind of the way he does shots, the way he does like films, and I really like his style of directing.
Yeah, like he was ultra stylized. But it was more kind of.
I mean, in general, his work tends to be like.
Yeah, he's got like a very individualized, hyper stylized kind of thing going on.
You know his stuff.
Whereas Scorsese's like he's always hyper stylized as well, but it's a bit more diverse and scattered. Like, but De Palma films are De Palma films. They've always got those double focus shots and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of got that feeling of slight cheesiness.
Yeah,
yeah, and it'll be Universal Studios producing it.
So, Colin Farrell is going to be playing a wizard in the Harry Potter spin-off Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Hey kids, I'm going to show you a great magic trick. We're going to get this tea and pour some brown sauce in it. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't see it.
Accio vodka.
It's just... In my head, it's just like that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, Colin Farrell, I think he's underrated. He's done some fucking shit.
Absolutely, but he's a curious one. Yeah. I mean, he's done some brilliant stuff as well. Like
In Bruges.
In Bruges is brilliant,
Jesus fuck. He's been pretty damn good on the new season of True Detective.
I'll take your word for it. I'll get around to it.
Yeah. Well, that season's been picking up, but moving past that, like, there's definitely an argument to be made for Colin Farrell as an actor who has his part. I just don't see where his part is in this. Although he has really strong comic timing.
He does, yes. Yeah, that's definitely one of the stronger things in him.
Yeah, and I guess that's a real advantage in a Harry Potter film. Especially if you're going to be the Irish comedy relief wizard. Now,
I can kind of see it, yeah.
Actually, I see the connection. Brendan Gleeson in Bruges, Colin Farrell in Bruges, both Irish comedy relief wizards in Harry Potter films. There's a pattern and it all suddenly makes sense. Yeah. So, to review the next Bourne film. Paul Greengrass, Matt Damon, Julia Stiles, Viggo Mortensen, and now, Tommy Lee Jones.
Who I'd imagine will just be playing a grumpy old man, because that's what Tommy Lee Jones portrays.
I don't think he could play anything else.
At this stage, not. I doubt it.
Yeah, it's his face is stuck like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, this is the role he's, like, he does it really well, is the point. Yeah. And so, if they go that route, which I assume they will, then, yeah, kudos on the casting there. But of course, their casting is just always been spot on for, well, all of them, actually.
I'm so excited.
Even Legacy has had spot on casting, like.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Genuinely, yes. Like, whoever's the casting director behind there, like, holy fuck, well done. But July 29th, 2016, pencil that, don't pencil it, get a big red marker and circle it on your calendar.
Unless, of course, they change the dates, because this is what studios do.
If they change the date on this one, I will call it bitch. But, so I'm super excited about this. It's like
it's very interesting. It's very exciting news.
I really, 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 really liked the Bourne films, and
the original trilogy.
Yeah, let's not talk about Legacy. So, if you've been following film news at all recently, you know that Fantastic Four is kind of shitty.
Yeah, apparently so. We haven't seen it, but
Yeah, but a lot of people
The
are
negative
saying
reaction. The negative reaction is almost overwhelming.
yeah, it's been swift and brutal. It's a turd floating in the cinematic toilet bowl.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people to blame for that, but one person who isn't to blame for it apparently is Josh Trank.
This is according to him. Obviously, fingers are being pointed, and you could see him trying to divert it. Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reaction, the human reaction, I suppose.
Yeah, but Josh Trank's reaction was to suggest on Thursday that he wasn't responsible for the final cut of Fantastic Four, which has been nuked from high orbit critically, saying a year ago...
Commercially as well, I think, actually. I mean, it's number one, but like not impressively.
But some good films have, done shittily commercially.
Yeah, but I'm saying critically and commercially.
Yeah, this thing has gotten... Trank was saying, a year ago I had a fantastic version of this, and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it, though. That's reality. And then he went and deleted the tweet, but someone else...
Yeah, but enough people screen grabbed it and retweeted it that it's gone.
Yeah, so Josh Trank is super pissed, and maybe there's a good version of the film out there.
The thing is, like him saying this, it kind of eliminates... It doesn't bode well for him basically crying about it. Because he might never get his chance to do a director's cut or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, when you get fucked over that badly, like
yeah, you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair,
keeping your rage in your pants is tricky.
Do you believe him? Is the question.
That's interesting, but considering how shitty the version that came out is supposed to be, I think his version has like a coin flip chance of being better.
The thing is, he wouldn't be the first director to get fucked over by Fox who actually had good stuff.
Yeah,
at Fincher.
Yeah.
However, he also he said some stuff that's like everyone's kind of like that sounds fair suspect. For instance, the Star Wars thing. We're not saying he's lying, but we are saying that sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, let me sketch a narrative for you a moment, a hypothetical narrative. Josh Trank has a very strong vision for Fantastic Four. Halfway through production, the studio decides they don't believe in this vision anymore, they're nervous, and they decide to make a more generic film. Josh Trank is not on board with this. Next thing, all these rumours start popping up to discredit Josh Trank.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the rumours?
Keep in mind, they're still technically just rumours.
Yeah. And this is just a hypothetical narrative. Next thing, Josh Trank, because of those rumours and because someone is trying to destroy him, the Star Wars people don't feel confident in him anymore, and he's pulled off that too. At that point, he's forced to make a face-saving excuse because of a disagreement with studio, which this is all hypothesizing, but that is one potential scenario.
It's definitely a potential
that would explain why this might not necessarily mean Josh Trank as a piece of shit.
There's also been, I think there was like the possibility kind of floated of like maybe he was going to make something that was more of a follow up to Chronicle, and the studio were like, no, we want a Fantastic Four film, and hence this kind of weird mesh.
Yeah, but either way, whatever he made, there's an excellent chance it's better than whatever the fuck they're showing in the cinemas now.
Yes, there's a good chance of that.
I'm not one to generally follow public opinion. Like say certain films tend to get fucked over by the public that didn't deserve to. Like say Under the Skin, you bastards. But
okay, keep in mind, I think that still actually got a decent review from critics, didn't it?
Yeah, fuck IMDb.
I know.
But yeah,
we've all got our grievances there.
Yeah, ratings are an ephemeral and tricky thing.
Yes, absolutely.
And moving swiftly on from this story, basically we don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I mean we can't really who's to say who's right and who's wrong, and unless we had both sets, and apparently we will never have his original set,
Yeah, unless Josh Trank had he has videotapes or something.
Yeah, I doubt
Maybe.
it. I imagine the CGI wouldn't be completed where it might need to be completed and all this kind of crack. And that's probably why we won't see it.
Yeah, I'm saying Superman 2 Richard Donner cut.
Yes.
Yeah. So, next up, we're not sure what the fuck happened there, but one thing we're pretty sure about is that the Fantastic Four X-Men crossover movie ain't gonna be happening.
Yeah, there was talks, of course, that Bryan Singer would come on board to direct or producer, at the very least, an X-Men and Fantastic Four crossover, which of course would align both of Fox's properties.
Yeah, because continuing with the, toilet metaphor, you don't want to get the smell of Fantastic Four on your nice clean X-Men franchise.
Yeah, I mean, the X-Men has kind of like it's emerged stronger post the post
Days of Future Past.
Getting
rid of Brett Ratner.
Post X-Men 3 and X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's come out stronger with the whole X-Men First Class and with Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's looking really strong now, and Apocalypse, we'll judge when we can judge,
Yeah, it looks promising so far, and Bryan Singer hasn't fucked us over yet.
I am kind of concerned, and I think I'm not the first person, and I won't be the last person to say that Apocalypse looks a bit odd, but I'm not going to care about that too much if the thing is right.
Yeah. It's going to be fine. Don't worry.
Baseless
optimism is all I have to go on. Without that, I am nothing.
But so this crossover is pretty dead.
Oh no, it's fucking dead. Like, the producers were there just saying that these two they emailed New York Daily News to say that these two films are in very different universes.
No, they're different universes.
Yeah. Oh no, this Fantastic Four thing ain't going anywhere
near.
Yeah,
one's in the toilet, one's on the shelf.
Yeah, it's like the sequel for this thing's fucked. It's like everything to do with this Fantastic Four is just fucked.
Yeah, so four Fantastic Four films and nothing. So, yeah. Well, we can't technically judge until we've seen it. But the reports have not been positive.
We can't technically judge, but I mean, let's just say there were a lot of witnesses who were saying that this thing committed a cinematic crime.
Okay, moving on.
Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy have reportedly signed on for more X-Men movies now that they know that the Fantastic Four film crossover isn't happening.
Yeah,
Heroic Hollywood is claiming that the two have inked deals to return for more X-Men movies, as in movies plural, post-apocalypse. So the studio is also trying to set up new contracts with Lawrence and Holt, and they're not that optimistic about Lawrence taking the deal, but Michael Fassbender has said that he would make 100 X-Men films. So he might as well start with these two.
But I think it was rumored that Jennifer Lawrence was basically going to call it a day in terms of Mystique after X-Men Apocalypse, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much time you can spend having your body being painted blue.
Well, if they're trying to, we'll see, I guess.
So. I guess they're cautiously optimistic about Apocalypse.
The story of the Twin Peaks revival has had many twists and turns and curious eyebrows raised as an actual Twin Peaks storyline. At this stage, it's David Lynch left the thing. He came back in the thing. There was episodes were doubled, and so there is still now 18 episodes. But according to a Mark Frost interview, things got a bit more hazier, I suppose would be the word.
Hazier, vague, disappointing.
He said in a recent interview, "We're coming back with season 3 of Twin Peaks after a 25-year absence. We finished the scripts. We start production in September, and that will be coming out on Showtime sometime in 2017. Now, of course, it was previously supposed to be in 2016, but it's hard to tell what's going on. Maybe he meant 2016 and it will be 2016.
2016, otherwise the Twin Peaks emotional roller coaster continues.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe it will be delayed until 2017. I'll take what I can get. I mean, you know.
All I'm saying is if they delay it till 2017, it better be a damn good set of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. But 18 episodes anyway, and still hopefully it'll live up to the hype, and hopefully it'll actually live up to 25 years of waiting.
Fingers crossed.
The Marvel Sony Spider-Man reboot part attempt 3 or whatever has got its Aunt May, and it'll be Marissa Tomei, who has most well been known for recently anyway, the wrestler and Before the Devil Knows I'm Dead.
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. And you know, in the wrestler she was playing a aging stripper, I suppose, or 40. What was she? 40s.
So she was playing a stripper.
Yeah, she was playing a stripper. And you know, so Aunt May apparently.
I'm like, she's got great comedic chops, excellent timing.
Yeah, she's
a terrific actress.
Yeah, she's she's got the drama down as well, like, you know.
Yeah, I haven't seen her actually play this sort of like almost motherly role, which there's a lot of that to Aunt May, so I'm interested in seeing that.
What's interesting is that she is younger than the typical Aunt May portrayal, right?
Yeah.
Mostly because the Spider-Man is younger than we've seen him before.
Yeah, well, I feel like they're going a different direction with this, which
is welcome.
Yeah, because because the Amazing Spider-Mans were garbage, and also because who wants to see the same old shit we already saw before.
And now on to Game of Thrones news. Max van Sydow has been cast as the Three-Eyed Raven for Game of Thrones Season 6, which of course means that Bran's arc will continue on. And of course Max van Sydow is most well known for, I suppose, Minority Report and The Exorcist. And he's a really high-class actor kind of thing.
Yeah, this is prestige. The guy was
how
many fucking Ingmar Bergman films was he in?
Enough.
Yeah.
He was in The Seventh Seal.
Yeah.
And you know, he's really prestigious. Is actually the right word for that. And so he's been cast as the Three-Eyed Raven, and of course the role was originally portrayed by someone else, but that was only because it wasn't going to be fleshed out. It was only there for a scene.
Yeah, and also because they didn't have access to Max von Sydow at the time.
Exactly. Also, in the same week, Ian McShane has been signed in an unspecified role, and he's of course Ian McShane, who's probably best well known for his appearing in Deadwood and Kings, the TV series, and basically being that guy.
Exactly, yeah. Ian McShane's the very definition of that guy. Like, he's a...
If you see the guy, if you saw a picture of the guy, you'd be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Uncle Ian.
And of course he was, I suppose most recently he was, that people would have seen, he was Winston in John Wick.
Yeah. I can't remember who Winston was, but I think I just remembered who Winston was actually. Yeah, he was the guy
sitting down who was basically in charge of the hotel.
The dude in the back of the bar.
Yeah, exactly. Or in the Continental, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're one of the 7 people who saw Edge of Tomorrow last year, because it was highly underappreciated.
I think it's done better in the DVD sales, purely because people realize, it's actually good.
And also because they tried selling it under a different name.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah. Then
I can't help but feel Oblivion probably hurt it.
Oh yeah, Oblivion hurt the shit out of it.
Because they thought it would be the same kind of...
guilt by association. Yeah. But Edge of Tomorrow was absolutely amazing, as you know if you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Tom Cruise is shopping a sequel. Of course, the thing is, he's shopping a sequel to the people he kind of collaborated with on Edge of Tomorrow originally. So he has pitched the idea to Doug Liman, director, screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie, and he's also run the idea by Emily Blunt. So apparently, whatever the idea is, he really wants to get the band back together on this one.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, but the thing is, he didn't actually say at all what the hell the idea was.
No, he was all like, "I've got a super great idea, guys. You're gonna love it."
You know, the thing is, he is with Scientology. He knows how to keep a secret.
Scientology reference number 33 and a half.
Yes. And
that's effectively it for the story. There's an idea out there. Tom Cruise is shopping it. I think it's interesting he actually mentioned this at a premiere, so it feels like...
it feels like he's trying to say, my next project will be...
Well, not so much that. It feels more to me like he's trying to
build the hype,
drum up interest.
Oh yeah.
To get
the thing is, done. I think this one would appeal more to than a normal failed movie, because it's done so well, and the word of mouth has been brilliant about it.
Yeah, like the word of mouth is.
It is a big thing. It's bigger than we give credit, you know.
Yeah, it was a ridiculously good film.
That's that.
It's. I look forward to seeing what happens in the sequel. If it shows up, please show up.
Well, with his winning smile, I'm sure won't be a problem. You think killing off the main character would probably kill a TV franchise, but no, it's Prison Break. They can bring him back because apparently the Prison Break will return for season 5, which is going to be basically a mini-series like.
I really wish that they hadn't killed Michael Scofield at the end, just based on how bad Prison Break went. I just wish there had been a title card saying Michael Scofield died on the way to his home planet.
Yeah, fuck it. It's a case of it's an odd one, but basically Wentworth Miller and Dominic Purcell are back, is it?
Yes, they are.
And
despite the notable handicap of Wentworth Miller's character being dead, folks,
I'm sure they'll figure something out. I mean, Jesus Christ, didn't Sarah, the Sarah character die and then come back because she was holding, because they were like, I don't know if we should keep her around.
What's in the box? What's in the box? And
exactly, yeah.
And they thought it was Sarah's head, and it totally wasn't Sarah's head.
Although didn't it turn out that Lincoln never checked the box?
Yeah, he was just...
I mean, that's the biggest fucking oversight I've ever heard of. Dude, you did look in the box, right?
Yeah. It's a funny story about that.
I always found that ridiculous. This is he didn't actually look in the box. Okay.
It looked pretty like her, I guess.
I mean, it was all blood coming out of the box. But you didn't check in the box.
I was wearing clean shoes.
I mean, that's the thing. It always kind of
Yeah, that was... no, Prison Break, it became more and more disappointing as the season
Yeah, that's the thing. It kind of when they were no longer breaking out of prison after halfway through season 3, they really leaned towards the company.
Yeah.
And then it got oh. And then once he was out of the prison at the end of season 3... Season 4 was a case of, it was more dealing with the company rather than breaking out of prison.
Yeah, around halfway through season 3, it's shit to prison bunk.
Yeah, that's basically saying it, is what it is.
It's and then Prison Break, the final break was oh man, it got so bad. It got really bad. Kids, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Just trust me. It's when your parents tell you to do something, not to do something, and then you do it. This isn't one of those times. Just don't watch it.
Anyway, because this obviously came right at very close. The original kind of rumors came very close to the time that 24 Live Another Day finished, which of course basically had a similar kind of thing of Here was the setup. Here was the series. Series kind of quietly died down, and then it came back with a revitalized kind of look and feel, and then they decided.
12 hours later.
Yeah, exactly. And then they decided, you know what else we could do something similar with? Not sure it works the same way, but we'll see.
Well, I think the Prison Break format of breaking out of a prison is ideally suited to a 10-hour miniseries.
Yes, it is, but the thing of bringing a person back, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many people groan when it's just oh my god, that's how he's alive.
Yeah, well, I mean, he had a map of the grave on the inside of his coffin.
At the very least, it'll be something to watch.
Yeah, so you might want to prepare for more of everything that was awesome about Training Day.
Yeah.
Apart from Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington, you're not going to get that. But we are
not fortunate enough, no. Not that fortunate.
Yeah, not quite. I'd love to see him do cameos. But
21 Jump Street style,
exactly. But we are getting a Training Day TV series, which is coming 15 years after Training Day showed up at cinemas, which is one way to make me feel fucking old. But Jeremy Bruckheimer's producing.
Oh Lord.
Antoine Fuqua is
Producing? Developing?
Developing, and they're looking at him directing the pilot. And aside from bringing it into the modern day, they're looking at twisting the premise with the rookie cop being African American and the older cop being white.
Okay,
which seems like I don't know, switching the races. I mean, like, I don't care if they switch the races. If that's their big idea for making it a twist, that actually seems kind of racist.
A little bit, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. If we're considering that a twist, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? We're supposed to be past this, okay?
Get off her. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, it's a bit. There's not enough beef in that kind of thing to work it.
Like,
there's not enough beef for that stew.
Yeah, I don't think there's a pitch. There's a pitch that goes well where we go, well, it's like this, but what if he was black?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's I don't know. I feel that bit makes me feel kind of skeezy. But Training Day was amazing. I think anyone who's seen the film can attest to that. And I'm excited to see if they can recapture that magic.
Ma cracker.
And that was a story you've all been waiting for. Resident Evil: The Final Chapter is bringing back Ali Larter as Claire Redfield.
No idea what you're talking
about. So that is the sound of no reaction because no one gives a fuck. This is really more of an excuse for me to rip on Paul W.S. Anderson because in addition to making nothing good since Event Horizon, and Event Horizon was fucking awesome.
Well, you know, he took the money, like, you know.
Yeah, he took the
he sold out.
It's like, I mean, he has cocked up his career as a director by making increasingly shitty films,
and yet at the same time getting a bigger and bigger, you know, revenue backwards because of I think apparently it's just they're just massive, like if they're done in Europe or if they're like shown in Europe or something.
But like he managed to screw up about as much as a director can screw up on Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, which was supposed to come out a long time ago. Except, let's see. Oh yeah, he managed to get Mila Jovovich pregnant when they were shooting. Yeah, it's like, oops. I'm sorry. We made. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like,
it seems like a bit of a fail on his part.
Does he not understand how these things work? Like, I mean, rub her up when you're shooting, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm like, apart from that, it's like, Paul W.S. Anderson, you've screwed up. I mean, I don't know if he... I think he might have crossed over the sort of M. Night Shyamalan line. The point of no return.
I think the thing was with M. Night Shyamalan is that he's still trying to make something. He's still trying to make good films.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure Paul W.S. Anderson like cares. I think as long as the money's rolling in, I think as long as the money's rolling in.
Like people make fun of Michael Bay, but Paul W.S. Anderson is the real monster, people. Let's see, but I mean, like Ali Larter is coming back as Claire Redfield, and you know, Ali Larter looks nice. I mean, she's a really good actress, to be honest. I mean, I crushed on her pretty hard when I was a teenager and like Final Destination came out. But yeah, that's all I have for the news on that.
So so basically it's Resident Evil Final Chapter unless it makes enough money for a sequel.
Yeah. And it's trailer time, and yeah, we got a batch for you this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. First off,
Deadpool, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, the Deadpool Red Band trailer showed up, and it slapped my mind around a little.
You see, there was a trailer released at Comic-Con. It was and it was leaked, but it was somewhat similar, but it was like this one was kind of very much that one plus like that test footage that was around earlier.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was enjoyable. Like, you kind of got a decent sense of it.
Yeah, I think the DMX makes the trailer, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's that kind of sums up the attitude, but I really like how fucking violent they're going with it.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to, because it's going to be rated R, and it's actually it's an actual R, not one of these phony R's.
One thing that concerns me is none of the dialogue kind of really caught me yet.
No, but hopefully they're saving the good chunks.
Exactly, yeah. I'm hoping that they were going for the stuff that they thought would have mass appeal, and that there's actually some funny shit inside her. Because well, the test.
They do make reference, of course, to Green Lantern. Thankfully.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my testicle sentence because otherwise people are going to think that I hate.
You just said the word testicle for some reason.
Yeah, but the testicle with teeth was kind of good.
Yeah, it was like there was a good bit of that kind of banter and stuff, and
Yeah, but the action looks fantastic.
Yeah, it looks very smooth and awesome, I think is the word.
It's sort of like grindhouse attitude with a big budget behind
absolutely,
it,
yeah.
which I can get behind. Plus the brown pants joke was great.
Done to death, but yeah, still good.
Yeah, I thought it was nicely set up the way they did it. Yeah, so Deadpool, it's arriving February 12th and 20th next year, and my hopes are pretty high.
Sure.
I think it has the potential to completely fuck up. It
has the potential to implode, but I really hope it doesn't. Because
I don't think Ryan Reynolds' career could take another.
Ryan Reynolds is the perfect person for Deadpool, I think.
Yes.
And he was phenomenal in X-Men Origins Wolverine up until the point that they took away his mouth.
Yeah, which is kind of a sad joke. But that's everything for Deadpool. And now on to the trailer.
This is kind of the opposite end. This is the opposite end of the spectrum.
For all you Joseph Fritzl fans out there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Room. The Brie Larson vehicles with Joan Allen and William H. Macy. It releases October 16th of this year. And you are really going to want to see this one. The link will be in the show notes.
Well, the link of everything will be in the show notes,
Yeah.
Everything relevant.
Looks absolutely... It's Lenny Abrahamson first. Let's point this out. This is the guy who did Frank last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brie
Larson, who did Short Term 12, I think 2 years ago now.
Yes.
And I've just been waiting for one of her films to blow the fuck up. I think this could be the one.
It's very dark, I'll give it that. And it sprinkles the kid grew up being loved and all this kind of thing, but it's a case of, this is dark shit.
Yeah, oh no, it's super dark, but then it's super light, which I think it seems like a really interesting, just kind of engaging sort of... It's an interesting recipe for a film, just to start in complete darkness and then make it a sort of heartwarming and life-affirming or whatever the fuck. It seems like a really brave arc for a film to take.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Plus, the talent behind this is obviously fucking.
It looks at the very least an interesting experiment.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think the people behind it...
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
This is an experiment.
They know, you know what I mean? They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
It's an experiment. Einstein's conducting it. And that's it for The Room. Or Room, not Their Room.
Yeah.
That's a completely different film. So last on the Whistle Stop tour of this week's trailers is the global trailer for Hitman Agent 47.
Yeah, it still stands as the same kind of thing as what I said. It's just a dumb action film.
Yeah, but oh boy is it a dumb and oh boy is it an action film.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that.
I mean, it's the thing that excites me about the trailer was just the amount of times, and there were a couple of stolen things, but there were a lot of times where I was like, that's new, and
yes.
yeah. I mean, genuinely, I think Rupert Friend, his tonality is interesting at least. I think that performance could go either way. But they had me at subdermal titanium body armor.
I don't know. It's just such a ridiculous line. It's just too ridiculous.
They snapped off a knife in Zachary Quinto.
Yes.
Like there's a lot going on in this trailer. I think this one could go either way, but I think the ceiling on it is very high as just a really, really exciting kind of not brave, but definitely kind of irreverent popcorn action film.
Yes, I think it's an odd one, like, but it's straightforward. I'll give you that, like, you know.
Yeah, it's this film. It isn't fucking around. I mean, there are dumb stunts everywhere.
Yes,
it's extremely dumb, but it looks extremely fun to balance it out. And it will be hitting theaters in either, no matter how it turns out, August 21st. So we don't allow to win that one.
exactly.
So every cloud has a silver lining. In the case of the Sony release schedule for the next couple of years, I guess the silver lining is Ghostbusters, The Magnificent Seven, Passengers, and The Dark Tower. Because holy shit, they've got some crap coming out in the next few years. So alright. First off, Ghostbusters, July next year. The Magnificent Seven, September next year. So off to a good start. This is where it starts to go to shit. Underworld 5.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone asked for that. So that is coming out October. Passengers, December. Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt. I don't think anyone's complaining about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Now, here's where we start hitting the... Oh, god damn it. It's fucking Jumanji.
Yeah, Christmas Day, is it?
Yeah, Christmas Day, the traditional dumping ground for most crappy films. Although Quentin Tarantino, I think, is a film coming out Christmas Day, but then the interview Christmas Day
Hateful Eight.
too, so yeah. Then January of the next year, 2017, we have The Dark Tower.
Yeah, the adaptation of the Stephen King
That's
novel.
the one. Which, yikes, I know that seems ambitious. I mean, like, they're gonna have to pull a lot of stuff out of that book to make it into a film. I have no idea how that's going to work out. Then, of course, we have Resident Evil 6. I think I've already made my feelings pretty clear on the, Paul W.S. I can't keep my dick in my pants, Anderson.
Yeah.
Then we have Bad Boys 3 in February of 2017. No one asked for this. Even Michael Bay is like, Jesus Christ, guys, can't we just leave it at 2?
Yeah, I doubt he said that.
Yeah, they just showed up to his house with a fucking bag of money. I don't know. Christ. June of 2017 is they're not even ruining the nerd's childhood anymore. They're ruining everyone's childhood. It is Barbie. Yeah. It's pretty grim. They haven't talked about whether or not Aqua will be providing the soundtrack.
Right.
Then Uncharted shows up in June of 2017.
Yeah. So basically another video game adaptation, but Uncharted actually could be different because it's more of an adventure thing.
Yeah, this one's been put back multiple times. Taking all bets, but I'd bet heavily on the side of it's being crap. And then in 2019, I don't care what month, I'm not going to see in this shit. Bad Boys 4.
Yeah.
Bad Boys fucking 4.
Why?
Fuck this release schedule. I'll pick those up later. God damn it. Just Sony, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Reconsider your choices. No wonder Marvel has to hold your hand with fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, like, why?
Yeah,
anyway.
That is a grim and disappointing end to this week's Idiot's Odyssey.
And I've been Owen Murphy. You can find me on Twitter at OwenM1990.
And I've been an extremely misanthropic version of Fergal O'Connor. You can find me on Twitter at Interspammer.
And you can also find the show on both Twitter and Facebook at Idiot's Odyssey.
And we even have a website, www.idiotsodyssey.com, where you can track down the show notes.
And thanks for listening.